Welcome back. You look tired.
I'm fucking knackered, man. Like, real I don't even know why.
Why? Why don't you know why?
Like, do you know, the weekend, obviously we had Bank Holiday Monday.
Yeah.
So I went out on the Saturday, and I slept. I thought it was, I think I got heat stroke, because I slept pretty much all of Sunday, and I'm terrible with hangovers, and I thought, it's just a hangover.
Yeah.
Went out on a Sunday, but didn't drink. Had a small red wine. That was it.
Tricky Merlot.
It was not, whatever it was nice. Normally I don't like red wine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a wine person.
It's just not a summery drink, red wine.
It's just not a drink, I don't think. Like, it's vinegar. It's like drinking vinegar that gets you drunk.
Red wine's delicious.
And that's what's good about it. Nah, see, I'm not a fan. It gives me anything that gives me a headache while I'm drinking it isn't good. And it gives me a headache as I'm drinking it.
That bad?
Yeah, it's like gin.
I love gin.
But that's the thing. I love a G&T.
Sponsored by Greenhalls tonight. Thank you, Greenhalls. Promo code to follow.
Link in description. But no, I love a G&T, but it gives me a headache as I drink it.
Really?
So I can't do it.
Got to turn your phone onto silent. That's naughty, that. We're in a production environment.
Sorry, we've got to be professional.
You have to.
That's that Devon Terrell.
So, good weekend.
Yeah,
good
and
times.
I slept all Monday as well.
Yeah?
I must have had heat stroke. I've literally slept. Like, I'm not even joking. Monday, I got up, I put the bins out, and I went back to bed. And then I got up, I had a...
so is your bin collection then on a Tuesday?
I don't know.
So
I just put bins out.
I guess push back, my friend.
Now and again, I just put bins out.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know what days they are.
No.
I just put the bin out.
No. So just so you know, I went to Amsterdam.
You did?
And bin lorry day happened on a Saturday.
Did it?
It did, yeah, which was weird.
Day.
Very weird day.
That would freak me out.
Yeah.
These fucking crazy fucking Europeans.
Another thing about the Dutch, Bob, right, which I've learnt whilst I was out there, I wouldn't call them liberal. Don't think I'd say, they're a liberal bunch, right? I'm not saying they're racist, but they feel a lot of the pains that we feel, Bob.
Do they?
Around immigration, apparently. I can say that as an immigrant who's now British.
Yeah.
Certificate on the wall behind you.
There's a certificate.
All right, but there's some fed up peeps.
Yeah, they do. I have heard that they get a lot of immigrants. But the way I look at it, for them, their country is based on tourism, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of take that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what I mean when I say that
like
is
their calves and that, like they have a lot of Jamaican-run calves, like black calves.
Right.
But that comes with what they do.
What do you mean? Like smoking weed and that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. This is the thing, right? Every coffee shop I went into, which I never went into, but I went into loads, which I never did, right? All run by Dutch people, apparently, Bob.
Yeah?
Every single one was a Dutch one. So there's this central
fun
bit.
times.
So sexy fun times. You want to smoke a weed a bit?
Yep.
Go for a party, jam a little bit. Crazy
Hey, let's
times.
jam.
Let's go jump into the canals. Right? So we went into...
Is it true? Sorry, I'm going to interrupt it.
Yeah, go for it.
Is it true that they don't have railings next to their canals?
They do not. They do not.
I like this about them.
And another thing, right, they're perfectly okay. They have like these purpose-built like toilets for men. So like literally it's a cage on the side of the street. It covers the bare minimal and you can have a wee into a pipe. Just like public urinals.
So can you see people's heads?
Yeah, you can see them pissing. Yeah, you know what they're doing. But like it's just covered up.
I always find that weird when you go to other countries and you think
there's always a toilet.
But the way that they do things, which is totally normal to them, which you think, really?
Yeah.
Like, really?
So one thing I learned as well, right? So in Amsterdam, you are allowed to go into a coffee shop and purchase marijuana. Mm-hmm. All right. Outside of Amsterdam, if you're not Dutch, you are not allowed to go and purchase marijuana from a coffee shop. So if you go to Eindhoven or to...
But if you're Dutch, you can.
But if you're Dutch, you can, yes. But only in Amsterdam is it okay for tourists to go in. And the misconception is that marijuana in Amsterdam is technically illegal.
You can't smoke it in the street. I know that much.
Oh, you can, and that does happen. It does happen. Police know about it, and they're very tolerant, I suppose.
Right.
They don't really want you to do it.
Yeah.
But they know it goes down.
Yeah.
And plus, as well, they're not going to really arrest you for much.
Well, and that's the thing. That's another thing of like they understand that tourism is their income, so the police do have a lenient view on things that happen because they understand that.
Yeah, I don't think the police want it like that.
Yeah.
But I think that they are very tolerant towards it. So they don't, which is the definition of tolerism. I don't really want you to do it, but it's okay.
Because you can't smoke tobacco in the cafes.
Not true. So yes, so sort of. So you can't sit in a cafe and have a cigarette, but I did see in 3 or 4 of the cafes or the coffee shops, marijuana,
weed and
and
tobacco
actual mixed, correct, and it's not like herbal tobacco or any of that shit. It's real fucking tobacco.
Yeah,
and I saw people mix their joints with that, and you can carry 5 grams perfectly legally.
See, I can't smoke marijuana. I can physically.
Yeah.
But it fucking fries my brain.
Does it?
Yeah.
No,
I used to smoke it quite a lot in my youth.
So like,
but I can't do it anymore.
I'll bring it back to the age-old thing, right? If someone said to me, Heinrich, there's a party, they've got vodka and gin, all right?
Can't drink gin. Can't drink the red wine. I'll drink the vodka, beer. Good.
All that.
Yeah.
Or there's another house party, same house, same pool. Let's
Yeah.
pretend there's a pool, just for the sake of this argument, right?
Is there a pool at both parties?
There's a pool at both parties, there's a jacuzzi at both parties, and there's strippers at both parties.
Sweet.
All right?
Yeah.
But at the other party, where there's no alcohol,
Yeah.
all they have is weed. And this party's happening on a Sunday night, and you have to attend. I would go to the one with the weed, right? The reason being is because I can have some joints, I can feel high as fuck, and it's enjoyable, and it's delicious, and
But
it
I do
tastes
like
good.
a beer.
Yeah, no, likewise, right? Likewise. But I can have a couple of joints, maybe 3 or 4, and I can wake up Monday morning and go to work. You cannot do that, Bob, if you've been drinking all night. You can't do it, fuckingly.
Yeah.
I can do it at a push.
I can't drink on a Saturday and go to work on a Tuesday.
Wow. No, that's actually true, yeah.
That's how bad my hangovers are.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on that. Actually, I think I'd do that if I could have a sneaky one beer.
No beer.
I want
Absolutely
one beer.
no beer.
I ain't going
There
to
will
that
be
party
there will
then.
be no beer.
I ain't going to that
So
party.
you can
then.
have a bad
For
time
the
at the
pure
alcohol
reason is
party.
I'm a fucking adult and I will drink a fucking beer at your party.
So
if
let
I wanna.
me zhuzh it up a bit for you.
Right.
Let me zhuzh it up.
Yeah.
Right? So you can pick one friend to go to this party with.
Right. Do
Both
I have to pick you?
You do not have to pick me. You do not have to pick me. You can pick which other friend who is worse than I am.
Right. We can't pick each other because we're in the room.
Yeah.
We have to pick someone else.
So anyone you want, anyone you've ever known, you can even take a
That I
celebrity
want to
with
take
you,
to a weed-only party.
or an alcohol-only party.
Or an alcohol.
But here's the caveat, right?
Right.
You don't know anyone else at this party. So here's in my head what's going through my head.
Right, okay.
I take anyone.
Okay.
I can take my neighbour,
Yeah.
who's an overweight lady, who's very nice.
Yeah.
I can take her there.
Yeah.
Right? She's a drinker, probably.
Yeah.
All right. So if I take her to the alcohol party, right? Here's the problem I've got. Right? People are going to be. You don't know what you're going to get. You might get some agitated, angry drunks, sad drunks. They're the worst. The sad drunks are worse than the angry.
Oh,
drunks.
drama drunks.
Yeah. So drama drunks.
Fuck drama
You
drunks.
could have that mix.
Yeah.
You could have that mix. Right? You're not going to have any of that mix at the weed party.
No.
Everyone's going to be chilled as fuck.
Yeah. You
No
might
beer.
get the occasional geezer freaking out.
Someone might throw up.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah. But
Just
everyone's
laugh
happy about it.
Everyone's fine about it. Everyone's chilled as fuck. And we
Yeah.
can all wake up tomorrow morning and go to work.
Yeah.
No hangover, no nothing. Not a single drop of wine or alcohol within the vicinity.
Yeah.
Which party do you go to? I've already made up my mind.
Well, you're swaying me.
See?
Now.
Do you see my point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But purely for the hangover. That's what swayed me.
Yeah.
Is purely the hangover because I can't fucking deal with them anymore. I'm getting too old for
Don't
it.
get me wrong. I love a drink. I love it. I love that shit. I love that shit.
I do love a drink.
I love getting drunk.
Yeah.
It's the best shit in the world, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, I still, in moderation, as with anything, cannot see why marijuana is not legal.
Yeah, no.
This is in England, United Kingdom, 2017, May or whatever the fuck
it's
month we're in.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it actually holds medical value.
Yep. I don't know enough about it, but I believe others who say so.
I will admit that I haven't read proper papers on it.
Yep.
But
I've seen evidence. I've seen some videos, dude.
Well, for the fact that you can get medicinal marijuana means that it must.
Yeah.
You can get it on the NHS.
Yeah.
In certain cases, so they know that it contributes. It has a better effect on depression than most antidepressants. Well, I think all antidepressants.
I think if you are depressed, I think your doctor should slip you a cheeky joint.
yeah,
Nothing
just-
too bad.
yeah.
A nice little bit of
just,
kush.
just a single skin.
Just a single skin.
Yeah.
Right. And then away you go.
Not like a king skin.
Give
We're
it a
not crazy. just a little.
We're British. We're moderate.
Yeah, just a crazy little.
Yeah,
just pure one though. Pure.
Or chronic, straight up chronic.
Pure.
Yeah.
No tobacco in it.
Some Afghan shit.
Yeah.
Some Kush.
And then you work your way up to the blunt.
Yeah.
And then I think don't get me wrong, right? I have seen people smoke weed on a addiction basis. Like they are addicted to the shit and they smoke it constantly, and their brains are fried from it. Yeah, like it does.
But you can have that. You can get fucked up on sugar.
Yeah, that's every. But this is the thing. This is what. So, weed is illegal, even though, to me, the pros of legalizing it outweigh the cons, and there are cons.
What are your cons though? Because I think that's a very good point.
Well, the cons is that it is addictive, and like anything that is addictive.
But so is Candy Crush.
Yeah, I did get addicted to Candy Crush.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I can never go back to it.
So Snake on the 3310.
Yeah, and not everyone gets addicted to it.
No,
and it destroys the lives of the people that do.
Yeah.
So, but it is addictive, so it is a con. It's a con.
Yeah.
You got to take that as a.
Yeah.
It can enhance people's because in certain cases it can be a what's it called?
A depressive.
Well, it can make you anxious.
Okay, anxiety.
So it can bring
paranoia as well. Yeah,
but again, only in people that it's already a factor of their. Yeah. You know, if you get someone who's healthy mentally and confident.
Occasional smoker.
But yeah, in moderation. It's like alcohol. Alcohol isn't banned. Alcohol is legal, but it's in moderation.
Yeah, that's it. But isn't that the case with anything? Heroin.
Yeah.
In moderation. I know there's people like, if you do heroin once a month.
Yeah.
Is that better
for you? It's very
Moorish
though, heroin.
Yeah,
very Moorish, like Pringles.
Yeah, I've never tried heroin. I never will. Not interested.
Neither have I, but I hear it is.
Yeah, so incredibly addictive substance.
Yeah.
All right, but would you rather someone says, no, I think it should be illegal?
Less addictive than nicotine.
Oh, is it? Yeah, so nicotine's a motherfucker, isn't it? We both smoke while you're trying to quit. I'm not. I don't believe in quitting.
Yeah.
I'm a go-getter type of guy. But I agree that, yes, there are some drugs that are worse than other drugs. I'm with you on that, 100%. Right, but I think, if it's all legal, because you can get it anyway, whether it's legal or illegal.
Yeah.
Right, you can get it anyway.
Yeah.
All right. My point is still, it's like with something like just marijuana, the effects that it has.
Yeah.
And some people say, oh, well, it's not as good as an effect as this. So, what they're saying is that it has health benefits, whatever they may be. A lot of people swear by them. I don't know enough about it. I don't really care. I just like getting high. Right?
Apparently, cannabis oil.
CBD oil.
There's been no clinical trials of it, and I think they're actually doing them at the minute. But it may be a cure for cancer.
There you go.
Certain types of cancer, obviously, and depending on different stages.
I've heard similar sort of things, right? Yeah. Let's pretend that marijuana can shrink a tumour by 1%.
Yeah.
By 1%, right? Something that chemo might shrink it by way more.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? It's been vetted and all that sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
All right, but if someone says to me, Heinrich, so we're gonna shove you under some chemo, so you're gonna lose all your hair.
Yeah, we're gonna pump a load of fucking radiation.
We're literally gonna poison you to kill a toxic in your system.
Yeah,
all right.
We're gonna fuck the rest of your body up.
Exactly. Or you can have some weed and it might bring it down 5%. I'm taking the weed, dude.
Yeah,
I'm taking the weed all day long.
If I go to the doctor and he tells me I've got cancer, the first thing I'm doing is calling a dealer, and I'm getting on some fucking cannabis oil. Because I'd rather try that for, I don't know how long the doctor's given me. It's my own story. I can make it as long as I want. 2 years. All right, say the doctor's giving me 2 years.
Yeah.
I'd rather try that for fucking 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, give it a crack.
And then do chemo.
Yeah, give it a crack.
Because, you know what I mean?
But even if the health benefit is small, right?
I've seen some, my dad went through chemo, did fuck all. Did fuck all for him.
Yeah.
Just fucked him up. Pissing radiation.
Yeah.
Just
not
pissing, just pissing poison.
Yeah, I'm not saying that marijuana should be a substitute for something like chemo.
No,
but I'm saying to you, if it has a tiny benefit, that tiny benefit, wicked.
Yeah,
let's fucking crack on.
And the thing is, as well, is with people say oh, you can't legalise drugs, all drugs. We're talking about all drugs now, right? You can't legalise drugs, right? Now, I would class myself as your average drug taker. So, like, in my youth...
You're Joe Bloggs of drug takers.
Yeah. In my youth, I've tried multiple drugs.
Yeah.
Right? None of the hard stuff. But, you know, weed, your ecstasy, your cocaine, your speed.
They're all...
Yeah.
They're all class A's, by the way, Bob.
Yeah,
with the exception of marijuana.
They're you know...
They're like the pussy class A's.
But my point being is that them being illegal never stopped me. I was like, oh no, the fucking police, I could get arrested. That was never an issue. The
Yeah.
issue for me is how much does it fuck me up?
Yeah.
That outweighed the amount that I wanted to do the drug.
And it's good fun. It
Yeah,
is
so
good fun.
Yeah, but I don't take drugs now. But I'm not against drug taking because it's like alcohol. I can have 2 beers and be perfectly fine, or I can down a litre of vodka, be pissing in the street and fighting policemen. Like, it all depends on how much you are taking.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, but again, like I say, it being illegal never stopped me.
Yeah.
So if I could walk into a shop now and buy heroin, I would not do it.
Correct.
It's
I'm with you on
irrelevant
that.
whether it's legal or not.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it because I don't want to do heroin and be hooked on heroin.
Yeah.
But I can walk into a shop and buy cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I'm hooked on cigarettes and they are killing me.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm trying to stop.
Yeah.
Or I can walk in and I can buy a bottle of Jack Daniels. I love Jack Daniels.
And kill someone else.
And kill someone else, kill myself. But that's perfectly fine. I can walk in and I can
And
buy...
they've got some awesome adverts for JD as well. Have you seen the 3D advert with the bee and shit in the movie?
And they've got
good.
fucking... What's her name? Does it as well, doesn't she? Whatever that fucking bitch is called.
That's Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis,
and
that's
she does
right.
the Jim Beam advert.
Oh, does she?
She does the Jim Beam advert, I think.
Fuck,
Yeah.
they're going to be angry at that.
Yeah.
I've got
And
I've got the two fucking main brands of whiskey, or not even proper whiskey, fucking mixed up.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm in trouble.
You're in trouble. There's no sponsorship deal after this.
Oh, fuck.
Never mind.
Oh.
Anyway, gin's good. Gin is very good.
But that's the thing. And you can walk into a pharmacy, right, and you can buy medication that they have no fucking idea what it's going to do to you in the long term. It's like that medication they were giving to them women. Was it in the 80s? That their kids were born with, like, real short arms and that.
Yeah. I know there's some bad shit.
But you could just get that. The NHS were giving that shit out. They had no fucking idea. Like, and that's the thing. They're pumped, but there's no money to be made. But there is money. But they think there's no money to be made on the illegal drug scene. Like, but the pharmaceutical drugs, fine. Pump them out to people. We don't know what the fuck's going on with them.
People get addicted to paracetamols and they're for like
Exactly.
15p.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's all bullshit. And I think if they legalised it, like you've just been to Amsterdam, they haven't got an epidemic of people killing people or fucking car crashes and all that kind of shit because people are high.
Yeah, true.
They haven't.
And Portugal have decriminalised drugs.
Yeah.
And like that's a very safe place. I'll happily walk with my kids in the streets of Portugal.
There was these facts are going to be so obscure because I can't fucking remember. But there was a country in the world, somewhere in the world, there was a country.
Precise Arbitrary podcast.
And in this country, just Google it. In this country,
So you just want to talk a country in the world.
a country in the world, and
That
they
Bob's on about.
legalized all drugs, right?
Yeah.
And it was monitored by the government, right? So you could walk into a shop and buy cocaine.
You could do that in the US.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that you could buy that off the counter.
yeah. So you could walk in and you could buy your drugs, right?
Yeah.
They actually, over whatever fucking period again, I don't know, 2 years or whatever it was, they see a drop in the amount of drug-related crime, because there would be.
Oh, there's no more dealers.
There's no more dealers. There's no more people fighting over fucking street corners.
Yeah.
The dealers is the shops.
Yeah.
Like, it's irrelevant. And they actually see a decrease in people getting admitted to hospital for drug-related illnesses and drug-related issues. And they see an actual drop in when it first started and you could buy it to when they finished doing the trial. There was a drop in the amount of people buying it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you could buy it made it irrelevant to people. It was like, well, I can have it when I want it, so I don't really want it now. Whereas I'm going out tonight, I need to call my dealer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I need to get... It's like when you run out of fags. It's like, oh, I've run out of fags. Just pop down the shop. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it actually limited the amount that... And people do it less as well. Because
I think you and I both know that within maybe 2 text messages, we could have probably anything we want delivered to us.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. Yeah.
Anything we want. And that's not like piss take, we sound hard. We fucking mean that.
Yeah. Like
anything.
And most people are like that.
Yeah. I bet there's a shit ton of guys who go, yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Anything I want.
And that's the thing. The fact that it's illegal is irrelevant to people. Yeah. People don't give a fuck whether it's
even
illegal.
If it is legal, I think that the vast majority of individuals, even I reckon some heavy users of shit. Yeah. Some heavy users of shit, right, might kind of go, you're going to get your addicts. People get addicted to fucking coffee, for God's sake.
Exactly.
All right, so you're going to get your addicts, right?
Yeah.
Which leads me nicely on to my next question, right? And here's a good debate, right? Mm-hmm. Is drug addiction a medical problem? Or is it a criminal problem? Do you know what I mean? So if you're addicted to some coke and shit, do you think... Because I've got my own view on this. What's yours, Bob?
My view is that...
And I hope we don't agree.
My view is that anything... At the minute, of course it's criminal because it's illegal.
Yep.
But my view on anything criminal, or the large majority of things that are criminal, are society-based.
Go for it. Explain.
So
I'm addicted to cocaine.
So you're addicted to cocaine?
Not really. I'm just saying for the argument of this. For this argument,
yeah.
I've got a cocaine addiction. I'm now in prison because
Cocaine's the hardest one to explain this to, but I'll try.
Okay, so because I'm on heroin.
Because cocaine is also the upper classes do a lot of cocaine.
Okay, so I get caught with I've got a heroin addiction. Yeah. The dirty drug.
But I suppose even cocaine. We'll go with cocaine because I don't want to wimp out of it.
Okay,
right?
so
I can do it with cocaine.
I'm addicted to cocaine.
Yeah.
Right. I've been caught with 7 grams of the shit.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's never really 7 grams because you fuckers cut it up. You know you are.
Yeah, yeah. It's only probably like 3 grams of cocaine.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So it's cut to shit, but it's still coke. Yeah, we know you are. Essex dealers. Anyway, but like I have been caught with cocaine, and I'm saying, it's a medical problem.
Yeah.
I should be treated for this, not arrested for this.
Yes. Well, and it is the same as I can go to the NHS and I can get free treatment for nicotine addiction.
Oh, good shout. Yeah, good shout.
And I can get free treatment for alcohol addiction.
Yeah. But is this when you've been caught or after you've been caught?
This is at any stage.
Right.
So
when you said the society thing, I think that's a good point to explore.
Yeah,
what do you mean by that?
The society thing is that generally, and it's, I'm not going to go no statistics here. I'm no expert, but everyone knows that the poorest areas have the biggest drug problems.
Okay.
And the reason that they have the biggest drug problems is that any drug is an escape from your reality. And even down to smoking a cigarette. You're stressed, you smoke a cigarette. You're happy, you smoke a cigarette. It's a reflection of the situation that you're in.
Yeah. I like smoking cigarettes just to get away from a laptop.
Exactly.
I know I can go and do something.
Exactly. And if you're stressed, that's when you need them most.
Yeah.
Because you want to get out of the situation that you're in.
Yeah,
when you drink alcohol, you want to be out of the situation that you're in.
Yeah.
You don't want to think about work. It's Friday, I'm done with work. People don't even think of it like this, but that's why you're doing it. Yeah. It's a release from the mundane, day-to-day shit that most people have to put up with.
Yeah.
You magnify that to people who have literally got fucking nothing. And they're, under the breadline. They're fucking... That's where you get... Again, this is what I'm talking about. Anything criminal.
Yeah.
That's when people start robbing houses and fucking mugging people and fucking all this shit. So... To take it back to drugs, is that their release is doing the drug. Their life is so shit that they will fucking do heroin because it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
About them, not even about themselves, just makes them feel good in that moment. That moment that they're doing heroin, that rush that they get makes them feel good.
Yeah.
The problem then being is that drugs are expensive. These people have got no money. The only way they're going to feel good again is they need money to buy more drugs. To get that money, they have to do illegal things. And it's just a vicious circle. The only way you can break that circle is it's not just getting them off of drugs. It's sorting society out in which someone doesn't feel the need to do drugs.
Yeah, no,
Because
see, I understand that.
If you get someone who's happy in their life, who's like happy with everything that's going on in their life, and you say, here, do this heroin, they're going to go, no, I'm all right, mate. I don't need it. Whereas if you've got someone who's depressed as fuck, and you go, take this heroin, it will make you feel better. Yeah, all right. Boom. They're taking it every single time. That's not a rule, because, you know, someone might go, yeah, I'll try heroin, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
But most people would say, no, I don't need it. I'm
Yeah.
happy, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Someone's miserable as fuck, they're doing heroin. If you give them heroin, they'll do it. And that's why it's a society problem and not a criminal problem.
Do you think it's cultural? Like, could you say that it's a cultural thing?
Again, I think the cultural thing takes...
Do you think Americans do more drugs than the British? Or vice versa?
No,
or
I wouldn't say...
Pound for pound?
I'd say percentage-wise, no. Obviously, there's a lot more Americans.
It's a guess.
There's a lot more Americans, and they have a lot
pound for pound.
Yeah, and they have a lot. They have a lot more poorer areas than we do. So yeah, they
simply
probably
because
do.
of scale.
Yeah, and also because the way that their countries run is that in this country we're a lot more.
We're better than you, dude.
Well, in a way, we look after people more than America do. You know, there's a lot more avenues for us in terms of. If you have an addiction, you can. If you're a heroin addict, it's not breaking the law to be a heroin addict. So you can go to someone and say, "I'm a heroin addict."
Yeah, but these then get addicted to like methadone and shit.
Yeah, and then they just put them on replacement therapy, which I don't agree with.
Yeah,
like, replacing a drug. That's why I don't agree with like nicotine replacement. You can't stop someone taking a drug by giving them a drug. It makes no sense.
Yeah, the whole nicotine thing, and I think the sort of idea with methadone is to wean them off.
But it never works.
No, well,
it does. Yeah. It does. Statistically, it does work, but not for the majority of cases.
No, there's
the majority of people that go into rehab will relapse.
Yeah. See, I'm of the opinion that like, I think that if you're an adult in the UK, right, and you are a drug taker of one sort or another, right, whether that be alcohol, which is perfectly fine, nicotine, or even the harder stuff, right, like cocaine, ecstasy, pills, you name them, heroin is the other one we spoke about. Like, I think that you have to take some responsibility as a drug user and kind of go, right, it is a choice, mate. Yeah. It is absolutely a fucking choice, and you made the wrong choice. Yeah. Right? And it's because of this law, and, you know, and so on and so on. Yeah. It's like... to put it bluntly, for example, like, you know, as they say, nothing's illegal until you get caught. Yeah. Right? So it's fine to do until you get caught. And as long as you kind of go into life with that mantra, especially if you're a drug user, right? And you kind of go, right, guys, weed, right? As to bring it back to what we were speaking to earlier, right? Weed is a no-no. We're not allowed it. And you kind of go, why? And you go, well, it's bad for you. Well, so's a lot of stuff, mate. Yeah, you know, and I think so's McDonald's. Yeah, and that's effectively the hiccup I have with it. I understand there's a choice. Yeah, I completely understand there's a choice. I don't, however, think it's a medical thing at all. I know, I the reason I say that is because like I can't kind of go, yeah, I'm addicted to sex. It should be the NHS's problem to sort out.
Well, this is a difficult thing with but also brings on to what you're saying is that it's a choice. But then, when they've made a wrong choice, who has to then pick up?
You, the individual. You're fucking as far as I'm concerned, right? I think you, the individual, you're the grown up, right? If you make a bad choice in the UK, right, that's on you. Yeah, right, that's on you. And I feel that, like, I understand what you're saying. It's an escape, all right. But for me, to some extent, it's also an excuse. Yeah. Right. You can't run from shit the whole time. No. And I feel like in the UK, more than any other country that I've been to 10 countries, probably, right? Yeah. And I feel like in the UK, you have more of a chance of succeeding in life from whatever fucking background you're from than anywhere else in the world. The American dream ain't got shit on life in the UK because, like you say, yeah, you come here, we'll give you a gaff. Yeah. You'll have a gaff. Yeah. All right? And some people, you might get hurt. No worries. There's no bill. Yeah. You broke both your legs in a car. That's fine. Yeah. No worries. Right? Because we've got this NHS thing. Yeah. Have some free treatment. Yeah. All right? Not a problem. You've got a smoking addiction. We'll fix that for free. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Got a smoking addiction. Oh, you do some heroin? You're addicted? You come to us early. You've not been caught by the police. Here's another replacement therapy. It's on us. Don't you worry about it. Yeah. You give birth. You ain't got to worry about it. Yeah. Right? Pump kids out. Pump them out. Pump them out. No worries.
Yeah.
Not a fucking problem. Right? Oh, you don't work? Don't worry about it. We've got a thing for that as well. As long as you're applying for jobs, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You and I both know. We can go now and apply for 50 jobs and go, well, we've applied.
Yeah.
And claim some fucking shit.
Yeah.
All right? Now, that is good and that is also very bad.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. There's a fine line between giving...
Ain't nowhere else in the world you can get away with that shit, dude.
No. But there's a fine line between being understanding and caring for a community and then being too tolerant. And I think we are too tolerant as a nation. We tolerate too much. As a people, we tolerate too much.
So did you vote Brexit, Bob?
No, I didn't.
You didn't vote. Did you vote or did you not vote?
No, I voted. I didn't vote Brexit.
So you voted to stay in? Yeah.
Oh, so did I. Like, the whole Brexit thing to me is what made me laugh the most. We may have mentioned it on another one, I can't remember, but the whole thing that made me laugh is like you had all these things going around social media like Facebook and that, and it was pictures of like D-Day, and it was like these people fought the Germans to not be controlled by them. Now we can vote and all of this, and because they're saying like the Germans run the EU and all of this, and it was saying like these people fought for England's rights or for Great Britain's rights and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, no, they fucking didn't. Like, it was collective. Like, it was a world war. It wasn't just us.
Yeah.
We won because of Russia, because of France, because of fucking Australia were involved in it.
South Africa, New Zealand, Samoa, Fiji.
Yeah, exactly.
America, they've got to get some credit.
Yeah.
I mean, they
we
sorted out
won
the jabs.
because of all of these people. Weren't fucking us. We won because of all these people as a collective.
Yeah.
That's what the EU was. And I'm not saying the EU was is you know, without its faults.
Yeah.
But to say that we're better off independently is no one's better off independently.
No, I think
if you're
it's a
doing
team
something
effort,
on your own, it's always better to have other people do it with you.
I think you know what, and that kind of leads me on. So I was watching some Noam Chomsky shit.
Yeah.
Right, ever heard of Noam Chomsky?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's an intellectual,
yeah.
and you know he's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
I don't agree with absolutely everything he says, right?
Yeah.
But he said something, and I kind of thought, like, you know what? That's really interesting. That's really, and I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So he says, like, borders are fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Like they're literally arbitrary. Like it's like a fucking.
They're meaningless.
They're meaningless.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? And Noam Chomsky said, in this general election, guess who he'd vote for? Have a stab in the dog. If he said, if I was a British citizen, who I'd vote for? Who would he vote for?
What, in the upcoming election?
In the upcoming election.
Well, I hope it would be Labour.
It was Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
Old fucking JC.
Because that's who I'm fucking voting for.
Oh, you're going for Corbyn, are you?
Yeah. Literally, the only reason I'm voting, and this is my... Like, I don't... To be fair, I don't normally vote. So I'm not going to say I'm all political now, because I don't normally vote. Because
I promised I'd vote on the next general election the moment I became British. So I am going to vote.
Yeah.
For the first time in a general election. I had the opportunity to do
Who
it
you vote
previously.
for?
I don't know yet. I honestly don't know yet. I'm pretty sure I was a Conservative at heart.
I will not sway anyone's vote, but you better not fucking vote Conservative.
See, I was looking at it and I was like, I definitely would have voted for David Cameron. I'm honest. I would have definitely.
Really?
Yeah, I could have voted,
Well,
but
no,
I didn't.
to be fair, in that election, like, this is what I mean, and this is why I generally don't vote, is because up until now, I've had no reason to vote. And what I mean by that is I haven't seen a difference. It's irrelevant to me who was in power up until now.
Yeah.
It was irrelevant. Whoever got in, their policies were the same. They were saying the same things. They were all... No one seemed to be stand out and go, right, this is
some real shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Whether it's Corbyn, it's not Corbyn as such. And it's not... I would vote for anyone other than the Conservatives. And that's why
don't
I'm
you
voting.
like the Conservatives, though, dude?
Because, one, they're getting rid of the NHS, which I think is the biggest fucking mistake.
There's some privatisation happening. I do agree.
That is the biggest mistake.
I do agree.
Like, any privatisation... Like, I don't think they should have privatised anything in terms of, like, public transport should never have been privatised. Gas
but that
and
happened
electric.
under Thatcher, didn't it?
Yeah,
that was some Thatcher shit.
Yeah, and it started happening a little bit before her. She sort of brought it forward a notch. And,
yeah.
But I don't think any of that. Anything that people need, so like water, electric, gas, public transportation, the like anything like that people need.
A public service.
That people need should be controlled by the government. Like my opinion is it should be controlled by the government because it should be not non-profit. Profit has to be made to maintain it.
Yeah.
But if you've got a company that's like, right, I want to make $60 billion this year or £60 billion this year, how are we going to do it? Right? Because that's what these energy companies do. They have profits they want to make.
Of course.
Because that's why they're in business. They're in business.
Yeah, they have shareholders.
Yeah. They're in business to make money.
Yep.
We need electric, gas. We need water. We need all these things. It should be just enough to maintain it. It should have just enough profit to keep it going. A little bit extra for investment, obviously, it's needed. But it should be controlled that we're not overpaying to just line some fucking geezer's pocket.
Yeah, see, like that's where I think you and I differ, because I'm quite in favour of the American model. And the reason for that is, I like the idea that not necessarily a social enterprise, but definitely a business can exist and be very, very profitable, and you can make a shitload of money. And the reason I quite enjoy capitalism and I think that's the thing that's turning me away from Labour, is that I would argue that Jeremy Corbyn has got some fucking socialist ideas, dude. Like some fucking communist shit going down. I like the idea that business can profit. I like the idea that, you know what, yeah, there's some shitty decisions that have to be made, right? Yeah, we have to fucking cut back on some shit. And you know what, right? If you're a rich old lady, this is the thing. This is my opinion, right? If I had worked, and yeah, I think, and this is the thing that sways me very much towards Labour, and I think it's an easy point to make. Like this whole thing about they call it the dementia tax. So if you have a gaff, right, a house or some assets over £100,000, then you have to pay if it's above that, then that's the cap, isn't it? Well, they don't know if there's a cap or not.
Yeah.
But they'll say if you have a house that's worth over 100 grand, then you have to kind of give up equity in that house in order to pay for your care. And I kind of go, okay, all right. I think that's okay. I wouldn't mind doing that if it was me. That's fine. Right? I honestly wouldn't mind that. That's okay. Because I think the threshold now is 20 grand.
Yeah.
Right? And you kind of go, right, you know what, mate, we've got an aging population. It's a sensible decision. Someone's got to fucking say it. Right? Raising taxes on fuckers, I kind of go, you know what, dropping taxes actually weirdly makes you a touch more money. Right?
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, because I then kind of go, I'll spend some more. All right? So people go, oh, tax cuts for the rich and all that shit.
Yeah.
I kind of go, you know what? The reason they're rich and the reason they've done so well, right, is because, weirdly, just a fucking stab in the dark, right, they've actually worked their fucking asses off for it.
Yeah.
A huge amount of that shit has been work. It's been fucking trial and tribulation. Fucking 80-hour weeks, dude.
Yeah.
Going for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how millionaires become fucking millionaires.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they should be penalised, and I think they should pay their fair way of tax. Absolutely right. Absolutely on board with that.
Yeah.
Do we want to kick the shit out of fuckers like that for the sake of a love and a cuddle, and we should fucking...
Yeah, but I think...
Are you going with the majority, or are you going with like what's real?
No, because
that's in my headspace. I've got some views on both sides of this.
I think you're generalising the fact that the majority of the country is something like 40, and again I may be wrong on this, but it's roughly right. About 46% of the country earn less than the comfortable living wage, right? So these are workers. This is not just not people on benefit. These are workers, right? 46% earn less than what they call the comfortable living wage, right? So this is enough money to cover your bills, to cover your food, cover your mortgage or your rent, whatever, and still have a little bit of money to kind of have a life of some description, right? 46% of people are below that. So that's 46% of people that are working, that are working hard, you know, but it's just they're in an industry where the money isn't there.
Yep.
They're, you know, fucking labourers or fucking people working at supermarkets and all this kind of shit, right? Even some fucking people working in hospitals and shit are on less than the comfortable 46%.
Fine.
Something like that.
Fine.
Right? Should we be kicking the shit out of them, even though they're working as hard as, the top 10%? But just in a position where they're not earning the money.
See, this is good because I disagree with you entirely. I think that, you know what?
So you're saying that if you don't work hard.
Yeah, no.
But if you're not earning the money, it's not our problem.
What I'm saying is, right, is that, like, as someone who came from a fucking farm, right, in the arsehole of Africa, right, came here, right, and I think within the space of 3 or 4 years, right, I earn, you know how much I earn? I earn well over £50,000 a year, which is way above the average. Yeah. Way above the average, right? And I earn way over that.
Yeah.
Right, you know how much I earn.
Yeah.
And I kind of go like, you know what? If I can fucking do it, so can you. That's my opinion of it. Yes, I understand there aren't 7 million jobs.
But then on the other hand, if everyone did it, what you earn would be irrelevant.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. That's fine. But that's still
what you earn could not be earned.
Well, no. Well, I disagree.
Because that's the thing. That's the thing with them. The whole thing of like education is they're saying that everyone should have the opportunity to go and be educated, which is fine. I think everyone should. But if everyone trains and everyone becomes a doctor, eventually doctors get paid fuck all because there's too many doctors.
No, like, absolutely, I'm on board with that. I understand that completely.
There has to be people earning minimum wage.
That's fine.
There has to be.
Yeah, absolutely fine with that. Not a problem with that at all, right? But I don't think this country can say wholeheartedly, you know what? I've got no opportunity to earn more.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No.
If that was the case, trust me, Bob, right? In my industry, in the IT industry, like if we have as much competition as we had, services, technology, everything would be pushed forward. Imagine you lived in a place, right, this utopian vision where everyone was gunning for your job. How good would you be at the end of it? Imagine you lived somewhere that competitive.
No, I agree. I agree with that to some extent, but there'll always be someone on the bottom run. The majority of people will always be on the bottom run.
Because that's where you should fucking start.
Well, exactly. So then what happens with them people?
My problem is, right, I don't think... This is what pisses me off, right? Like, I understand a nurse is a very noble trade.
If you've got one job, if there's 5 people in the top job, right? You're in the top job, I'm not, right? And I'm gunning for your job, right? And you're fucking good at it, and I can never knock you off that run.
Why?
Why should you drop below me? Because you're working just as hard to stay there.
I reckon I'm working harder.
Well, there we go. But I can't knock... I'm working harder, but you're better, right? And I can never knock you off that run. I'm always going to be below you. But I'm working not as... There's no less emphasis on my work. It's just that you are better than me. I can never knock you off that run.
See, like, I disagree.
I'll always be below you.
So here's the thing, right? I think like that would be relevant 100 years ago. As far as I'm concerned, right, in today's trade, in IT, right, here's what I love about IT. Here's what I love about technology, right? It's a skilled job. Mm-hmm. It's a skilled job, right? And the only way you get the skills is if you put the fucking time in.
Yeah.
End of.
Right.
Because, like, I can show you right now if we Google some shit, right? Technology jobs, whether it's the Microsoft stack, whether it's Apple, whether it's whoever the fuck it is, right? They are fucking hunting for these people. Yeah. They want you to come and work for them.
Yeah, that's fine.
They are begging you to come and work for them.
That's fine.
All
but
right?
The laptop that you're using, who makes it?
HP.
Yeah, but then who builds it?
No idea. Some factory guy.
Some factory worker on minimum wage.
Yeah.
Without that factory worker, you don't have the laptop.
No, I'm not saying
there has to be people on the bottom run.
No, I understand that.
So he can work as hard as he wants.
My problem
always
is
got to be someone on that bottom run.
Yeah, that's fine.
The majority of people have got to be on that bottom run.
No, I disagree with that.
Because there's more jobs like building a laptop than there is designing software for the laptop.
But there doesn't have to be, does there?
But there always have to be.
What I'm saying is, right, like, you should have this natural, perpetual motion, right?
Yeah.
Of, like, human beings going for stuff.
Yeah.
My problem is, right, and maybe I should have made this clearer, is that I get very pissed off with the dickhead, right, and they're not all dickheads, right, with the dickhead who's fucking packing fruit onto a fucking shelf in a store. Yeah. And like, oh, I should have a living wage. Motherfucker, you're not supposed to be supporting a family packing fruit. You're not supposed to be supporting...
But someone's got to pack the fruit.
That's fine, right? But that shouldn't be like, why am I not getting paid £90,000 a year for this?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
This is ridiculous.
I agree with that.
Oh, it's the Conservatives. Oh, it's the fucking bankers. No, fuck that.
I agree
with
that.
Work the fuck harder, mate.
Yeah, no, but I agree with that. But my point is that if you're earning minimum wage, you should have the minimum that you need, is my point. So you should have your healthcare, you should have your electric, you should have your water, you should earn enough to be able to pay your rent and all of this comfortably, right? But I'm not saying that you have excess money that you can go out and buy a fucking Lamborghini or even an iPad. Like, to me, something like an iPad, that you don't need it. It's a necessity. So don't be moaning that you can't have one, but be fucking kicking off that you can't afford food. That's my point.
Oh, 100%, mate. 100%.
Yeah.
I understand that. And in the same way, right, so here's again why I'm on the fence of this whole who am I going to vote for thing, right? Because, like, I kind of feel like a millionaire can have cancer, all right, and the NHS goes, we'll look after you.
Yeah, but he's probably
Come
got
with
Bupa
us.
because it's better.
Come with us. No. Besides that, the National Health Service here can kind of go, come with me,
Yeah.
right, and we will take care of you. Someone earning what's the minimum wage? £8.50 or whatever the case.
$7.50 an hour.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So someone on less than £10 an hour can have cancer, and the NHS will go, come with me.
Yeah.
Let's have a cuddle, right? We'll sort you out. We'll do the whole thing. Same treatment for the millionaire as it is for the guy on minimum wage, right? You get dementia, all right? The rules change, mate, big time, because of the potential look and feel of this whole dementia tax thing, all right?
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of go, right, the Conservatives fucked up there. No, there's a cap. There maybe no, they won't say what the cap is. Right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, we'll charge you as much as this, and so on and so on. Now, as far as I'm concerned, right, raise my tax. I'm on the upper tax band for, I pay 45% tax and stuff above whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
Bob, I can't tell you how much I don't mind paying that.
Yeah.
If they say, Heinrich, we need an extra 5%, take it.
Yeah.
Right, because as far as I'm concerned, right, as someone who came here earning okay money, good money, it's all right, I live,
Yeah.
you know, I fucking get by. I don't mind paying for Joanne down the street. Because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Joanne's worked for 40 fucking years, 50 years, if not more, right?
Yeah.
She's fucking done her time. She's been paying into this system,
Yeah.
making sure that there's a road, some cunt collects my bins,
Yeah.
right? All that for that time. Now Joanne needs some help. Joanne's getting a bit ill, right? Fuck it, no problem. Give Joanne that money. Make sure Joanne's safe. I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely no fucking problem.
Yeah.
No problem with that at all, right? What I cannot stand is this bullshit, lazy fucking prick idea that, like, you know what? Where I am now, this is good enough for me, then fine. Take everything that comes with a £25,000 a year job. Take everything that... Don't turn around to your boss and go, oh, you're really unfair, you're naughty because you're not giving me a living wage. Oh, fuck you, dick. Work harder then.
Yeah, no, but my point being is that, that's fine. In the sense that if they're kicking off that they can't go to the Maldives every year, then that's fine. Yeah. But if they're kicking off that they can't afford to eat, then there's an issue. Like, surely it's the minimum requirement of any job that you can afford to live. Any job you have.
But is that the state's problem or is that your problem?
Well, of course it's the state's problem. Because
what the population can't eat.
But yeah, of course
but
it's
why
the state
can't,
problem.
well, when you say like the population, so if I'm like going, Bob, I can't afford to eat, like, what needs to happen? What are you saying? What is your point around that?
And this is the whole thing with like privatisation. There's obviously it's so complex, like ridiculously complex. Like you look at housing, for instance.
Yeah.
Right now, there is no affordable housing. Like there is in certain parts of the country, there's affordable housing. Not where we live. You wouldn't call where we live affordable. We're in commuter distance of London. It's not affordable housing in the sense
in proportion to your earnings. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
It's massively outweighed of the proportion of people's earnings that you can earn within this town.
Yeah.
I'm not talking of commuting to London. You can always commute to London.
Yeah.
I know these things. But if you get a job in Braintree, generally, the payment that you're going to be on is... People can afford it, but it's comparative to your earnings, it's a large part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Keep talking because I want to look something up quickly. Keep going.
So you do that, then you look at obviously the costings of food, which is always on the up. Yeah. Which it has to be. Everything always has to increase in money. The problem is that the minimum wage, the money that we're getting paid for our jobs, is not going up on the same percentage as everything else increases. Yeah. And I'm not talking about, like I say, your iPads or being able to have Sky TV or all of this, because that's fucking irrelevant, because that is, if you can afford it, you have it. Yeah. It's not a necessity. Yeah. But when people can't afford, when people are not buying food because they have to pay their electric bill or they have to pay their rent, then there is an issue.
How do you tackle that though? Well, so what would be like? I understand that's the easy bit. We kind of go, here's a problem. We're going to point a finger at it. how would you, if they said, right, Bob, you're Prime Minister now, you've got power over anything and everything, what would you recommend?
Well, first of all, I'd deprivatise all amenities. So your gas, electric, your water would be run by the government, and it would be enough money to cover the runnings of it.
Yeah.
Like, there is an issue with people out of work.
Yeah.
And it's not the issue that we don't have enough jobs. I think there is enough jobs for pretty much everyone to work. I don't think that is an issue. I think the issue is that we are too lenient on the amount of money that we give out.
Yeah.
So that would be tackled 100%. That you'd have to look at that.
Yeah.
But I would make it so that if you've got, say you're one person on your own, you could have the lowest run of the ladder job, but you could have a 1-bedroom flat. You could afford to put food on the table for yourself and pay all your bills and have a little bit of money left over to go for a beer every now and again.
Yeah.
That's the lowest run. But that isn't achievable at the minute.
Yeah.
Not everyone can have that. That is what I would... Then if you want anything else, then you go out and you fucking work for it.
Yeah.
But when we haven't even got that as a basis, there is a problem.
Yep.
And the whole of taxing the rich and all of this sort of stuff, I don't even really believe that that's a thing. I don't really believe in because you earn more, you should pay more, in a way.
No, I think you should. Like, I don't mind that.
I do and I don't.
I'm on board with that idea.
I know that it is worked off a percentage, but I think the percentage is done wrong. So, in the sense of, it's difficult to do, and I know, like, so they have their caps and they have their, the wage bands, and you pay more tax.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I think it should be more set towards a percentage than a band. So, if you earn £1 and you pay 5% of that, if you earn £2, you shouldn't be paying 10%, which is kind of how it works now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's simplified, but that's kind of how it works, where you're actually paying more money than percentage-wise of your wages, of your earnings, to what someone on minimum wage pays, and I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
It should be the same percentage of your wages. Obviously, for some people, that works out fine, but if you're just on that cap, then it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
If you're just above that cap, that 40%, you're actually better off earning less in some cases.
Yeah, well, I think it's marginal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can see why some people go, actually, I prefer not the...
It fucks me off that that big businesses don't pay tax. So you've got people like Google and Facebook and things like that that are not paying tax. That fucks me off.
Yeah, because they say their earnings are in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
And Starbucks is another good one.
Yeah.
And Vodafone, you fuckers.
Yeah, and that fucks me off because... But then that's a whole nother thing of why fucking government is corrupt, because they're all fucking rich fuckers that look after their own money.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I won't vote Conservative, because that's what they fucking are. They're a bunch of rich motherfuckers looking after their mates and that have got a load of fuckload of money.
Yeah.
Like, having money and then going work for your money is all well and good, but there is always going to be people that don't have money. Not for fault of not being working hard enough.
No, well, I think
there's always got
a
to be people.
I understand. I completely understand the notion of, like, I'm a postman. I've always wanted to be a postman. I love this. That's cool. I'm happy with it. That's my shit.
Yeah.
Like, I start this time in the morning. I end that time of day. Wicked. I'm not like that.
No.
I work until my wife starts moaning.
Yeah.
Which is normally around 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then I kind of go, well, I've started at 9 till 8. That's okay. It's 10 hours, 11 hours, whatever the case may be. That's fine. I've done what I needed to do. I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's fine. Then you get others who kind of, like, do less. They do a lot less. And with this, I think that one of the biggest things, when I was a consultant, IT consultant, like, you name a big brand, I've worked with them. I've seen the inner workings of the IT department at the very least.
Yeah.
In other businesses, I've seen the IT department and the finance department and the HR department and the fucking top brass. You name them. I've in big companies, right? You name them. I've fucking been there one way or another, right? And the thing that I detest the most, right, is this notion that, you know what, my company doesn't do enough for me. And you kind of then look at that individual a lot of the time, right, and you kind of go, well, what do you expect? Like, what do you want from you? I want this, and this, right? Yeah. And they kind of go, have you raised your concerns? So what are the biggest ones? More money.
Yeah.
Fine, more money. Always a good one, right?
Yeah.
And that lasts for about a month, by the way, 2 months max. If they give you the more money that you want, right?
Yeah.
You're still doing the same old shit. Then it's, my manager is a dick. There was a thing on LinkedIn, they said that like something should be like, more than 90% of people leave because of a bad manager. It's nothing to do with the company. All right? Yeah. So fire the managers. Can I go, well, okay, let's pretend it's even that. All right? And then the thing that kind of nails my argument, and the reason I have this gripe with it, is you kind of go, well, how long have you been here? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 4 years, 2 years, 3 years. Well, how long have you felt this way? Since I started, since about a year ago, since 2 years ago, since 3 years ago. So you kind of go like, in what other situation in life would you put up with a fucking problem for more than a year and do nothing about it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's, you know, that's...
Then don't moan.
That is a valid point, but I think there's less... I think there'd be less people that think, like, not everyone can be Bill Gates. Like, it's impossible. It can't happen. So
you can get close. You can give it a fucking try.
Well, you can try. You can give it a go. Don't get me wrong. You can give it a go, but it is impossible for everyone. Like the American dream, you can be whatever you want to be. Impossible. It's impossible because, say for instance, like you want to be an astronaut. Yeah, that's fine. Not everyone can be one. It's physically impossible.
Maybe
there isn't the job roles for you.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be Bill Gates. There has to be people on every run of every ladder. There has to be. It's impossible to have no one on any run of the ladder. There's someone got to be on every run. And unfortunately, the bottom run is where the majority of people are. That's just where they are. So, but they prop everyone else up. The way that these people can make their money, it's like how my company make my money. How we make money is we pay someone else who gets paid less than us to make stuff for us, which we then sell.
Yep, I'm on board.
Without them people, we don't make no money. Yeah. We can work as hard as we wanted. We ain't making no money because we've got nothing to sell. We can't make nothing. That's not what we do. I didn't work hard to build something. I worked hard to sell something. If I've got nothing to sell, I make no money. You need people on every run of every ladder.
I agree with that.
No matter how hard you work, you need the bottom run. Yeah, you need the people sweeping the streets. You need the people emptying your bins.
I completely understand that. And I think that, you know what, I think that there are, if it was a case, right, of like endless, there's not a single position in the UK that can be filled. If literally the UK market was flooded and there's not a single job available, right, I kind of feel like, valid point, fair play, you know what, there is no room to move, it's stagnant.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
But you're going to say there is room to move.
There is a shitload of room to move.
Yeah, there is a shitload of room to move. So if every binman tomorrow got a job in IT, who's going to empty our bins?
Well, the point is still that, like, you know, a lot of the bin men are happy being bin men. That's not a problem. And I understand that. And there's fucking fair play to bin men. I ain't got shit against bin men.
Yeah.
My point still is, right, is that, like, I don't think if the average individual literally stops what they're doing right now, right, on the train, watching this, listening to this, whatever the fucking case may be, right, and kind of go, I don't have any opportunity to better my earnings right now.
Yeah.
Like, and for the next year, there's no way I can improve my earning, improve my situation.
Yeah, I would call bullshit on that. I would agree with you on that.
I'd go, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot.
I'd call bullshit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
100% I agree with
that. That is my thing. I'm not saying it's never going to happen. There are so many individuals, right, happy doing it.
Yeah.
Happy doing the run.
Yeah, and my point is that they should get the bare essentials.
Exactly, but I still don't think that should be the state's responsibility whether you can eat or not. I think that it should be your responsibility whether you can eat or not.
It's got to be. It has to be the state's responsibility.
No, I disagree.
So what we're going to have people that are starving. We live in a first world country, and we've got people that are starving because they're not achieving enough.
No, what I'm saying is, right, is that, like, I feel, right, that if you have a lot of help, and this is not necessarily a worldwide thing, right? I think that in the United Kingdom, as such, right, I see a lot of waste, a lot of people taking the piss, a lot of free shit, a lot of stuff being given to you, right?
Yeah.
Imagine, and this is the thing, right? You never miss something until it's gone. You never ever miss something until it's gone, right? If you and me were sitting in fucking Kentucky, I'd go, Bob, you know what? You have a really good point. Because you know what, mate? I've got to pay for schools. I've got to pay for healthcare. I've got to pay for this. I've got to pay for that, right? Your average fucking dick and dom, right?
Yeah.
In a fucking council gaff, all right? And
Yeah.
mate, I'm not saying this is true for everyone.
Yeah.
But I personally think, a small part of me thinks, you know what? If you are not working and you are not contributing to society and you are literally just doing the fucking bare minimum, expect the fucking same in return, dude.
So you're saying that you like the American model? Is that working in America?
It is for the...
failing like fuck.
I don't think so.
It is failing like
I don't
fuck
think so.
in America. Of course it is.
No,
of course it is. Their unemployment, they're homeless, their drug addiction, their fucking gangs, their fucking everything is so... Their murder rates, their fucking everything is so much higher than every other country because everyone is out for everyone else. There's no socialism. There's no... We help each other. Everyone will drag each other up. There's none of that. It is that. If you haven't got it, it's your fault. And it's fucking them over.
Yeah, see,
it's fucking them over.
I understand that, right? I'm not saying...
Like, you go to Kentucky, like you said, that place is fucked. That is fucked.
I don't know shit about Kentucky, by the way.
That place is fucked. Like, and they're brainwashed to fuck because they're all fucking poor. They're all fucking toothless. They're all fucking ill because they can't afford healthcare. They can't afford the dentist. They can't afford these things. There's no industry there. There's no jobs there because there's no money in Kentucky. There is, like, you know,
Probably,
there's a lot of rich people in Kentucky. But what I mean is
horse racing, apparently. Yeah.
Is that some of these areas in America there is no industry. They're ghost towns. There's nothing there.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Right,
and it is that reason. Unless you're like, if you're in New York, yeah, fine, loads of opportunity. But most places in America, there is no opportunity.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I buy that, mate. I just don't know if I buy that.
100%.
No, I just don't know if I buy that.
100%.
The reason I like it, right? Here's the reason I like it, right? Is that you can very quickly, right? I'm not saying I agree with all their laws and stuff because they've got some fucked up laws. They've got some really fucked up laws, right? What I like about it is the free speech model they have, right? Yeah, and the crime rate and all that, that's down. That's a completely different argument entirely.
Not at all.
Right? Well, I don't think
I
don't think it's got anything to do with the economy.
Of course it has.
No,
of course it has.
I fucking disagree, dude.
The poorest in any country, anywhere, the poorest areas have the highest crime rate. That's not a coincidence.
No, I don't think so.
What are we talking about?
Think so.
What are you talking about?
Well,
think about it. You're clever. Think about it.
The poorest areas have the worst crime rates.
Yeah.
Per what?
What do you mean per what?
So, like, for example, right, the highest gun crime is in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right, so they say that's the highest gun crime. But pound for pound, like, it's not as bad as New York, and they have the same population.
But yeah, but what about...
But capita income is about the same.
But what about in Jamaica?
Yeah, but that's not the US, though, is it?
No, but it's I'm talking worldwide. The poorest areas have the highest crime rate. And there is a direct comparison between how much money people have and how much crime is committed.
No, I understand
if I've got £1 million in the bank, I'm not robbing my next door neighbour. I've got no need to. If I have nothing in the bank, I'm robbing every motherfucker because I need the money.
Yeah, no, that's more. No, I understand what you're saying. That's more desperation than it is anything else. But mate, the fucking richest people in the world caused the biggest crash in the world as well, right? Where money just went missing and shit as well. So
yeah, but that's
never forget
that's different. But that's different.
That's greed as well.
Yeah,
you know,
but
more than anything.
That's different. Like, I'm not. But what I'm saying is if you've got someone who's got nothing, he's gonna fucking take from you. He is gonna fucking take
if he has to. Yeah,
yeah.
I'd do the same
And this is the whole point. If he's got no other option, he is taking. If he needs, say, his daughter is fucking ill and he needs to pay her medical bills, he is fucking robbing motherfuckers. Not in this country, he ain't. He's taking her to a hospital and he's getting it free on the NHS.
Yeah. No. Okay. That I understand. Right. My point is about business. Right. My point is about if you have a company in the US, right, that is making money, you can make money in the US. You can go fucking mad in the US.
But you can do that here.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Right. I'm not saying I'm not saying you can't do that. What I'm saying about what I like about the American model is that, like, here, I would argue that to some extent, all right, we're a very service industry fucking led thing. We make the shit ton of money from fucking financial services.
Yeah,
right?
that's what we do.
That's our bread. We don't make shit.
We don't make fuck all.
Fine,
anymore.
I understand that, and I think what, the more you pay someone, the higher the cost of your product.
Yeah,
the end. Right. That's why designer shit is expensive as it is to some extent. Right. A lot of it's made in Italy. Whatever the case may be.
Yeah. You're paying for a brand name. But yeah.
What I really like about the American model is capitalism. And I feel like that in itself is fantastic. I feel like, yes, if there is a service in the US, for example, like healthcare, right? Yes, you had Obamacare, and I think great idea. Let's give some affordable healthcare to people. No problem with that. No problem with that at all, right? What I do like about the American model now is the de-legislation that Trump's on about. I'm not a fucking Trump fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not saying that at all. Right, Trump to me is meh.
Yeah,
don't care. Yeah. Don't give a fucking shit.
Yeah,
I do not give a shit. Right, but what I like about the American model is that, like, you know what, it's a cultural thing there, whereby, but if me and you, Bob, go to the US, we've got a fucking business, right, who's making 100 million a year, right?
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, we're good. But then what happens when you go bust?
Here, you're gonna get the fucking shit kicked out of you. You're going to get tax on top of fucking tax on top of fucking tax on top of fucking tax.
So you're in America and you're making £1 million a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
Yeah. Company goes bust. Then what do you do?
We run like fuck. We go to Mexico.
You're fucked. Not in this country. You've paid your way. You've paid your tax. You've paid for your.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think
capitalism is flawed.
It doesn't discriminate. That's what I like about
Capitalism is flawed. Socialism is flawed. You go with either one, 100% you go with either one, you're fucked. Because both of them are flawed.
Yeah, maybe so.
You have to have a mixture of the two.
Yeah, see...
The only way it works is having a mixture of the two. You tell me any capitalist country that's done well. None.
America's done pretty good, dude. The US have done very, very well.
Oh, don't get me wrong, they've done very well.
Very well.
Would you want England?
I'm not saying
America?
they're perfect. I'm not saying they're perfect.
Yeah, but would you want England to be like America?
I would like England to adopt. I would like England to adopt.
Or would you like it? Or would you like it like Sweden?
No,
or Iceland?
No,
no, you wouldn't. But you'd like a mixture of the two.
Yeah. What I like about the American model is that, you know what, no one can turn around and say that I wasn't picked on merit.
No.
You know what I mean? Whereas here, I would argue to some extent, I've seen it happen. Right? Is that you from Cambridge? Did you go to Cambridge? Yeah, I did. You're in. Where'd you go? East Anglia? Yeah. Okay, mate. That's lovely.
I think that does happen in America as well. I think that does happen in America as well.
See, I don't know. And here's the difference, right? And so I work with a lot of Yanks, right? Here's how they go for a CV. They go, Rob Ryan, welcome. So, I see you've done this, you've done that. You've saved your company 50 grand. That's going to be good for me. It's going to be good for you. I'm going to make more money. You're going to make more money. You flick that over. You went to university, that's fine, you're married, I don't care about university, you saved some money here, here's your experience, we're all good, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Alright? I've seen it happen here. I'm not saying it's fucking institutional by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all, right? But it's like that thing of like, oh, fucking hell, Bob, you're not a smelly weirdo and you haven't got a glass eye, mate. Unfortunately, the position's been filled.
Yeah, I don't think that happens as much as you think.
Yeah, see, I fucking think it does, dude.
But also in America, these people that are going for their jobs with this CV, they are from, like, the large majority of people from certain parts of America that their families can afford to put them through an education.
Yeah, well, you can still get loans in the US. You can still get loans in the US,
but this is the thing. They post this picture of everything's achievable, but it isn't. If you look statistically,
why? What makes you say that? What makes you say that?
Because you look
statistically, I fucking think it is.
No, it isn't. You look statistically at America and the people that are in high up positions. The same in this country. Statistically, the highest people have gone to the higher end universities. You know, like your Harvards and shit. Yeah. Right. Then people that go to Harvard are from a certain society of people, right? Live in certain areas and have a certain amount of money, right? And they get the higher up jobs. The people in the middle ground, like it is in England, will go to the lower runs. Like you know, a large majority of Americans are not educated to a standard that we are. They're not, because their education system's fucked.
Yeah,
right.
Ours isn't that great either, but.
Every kid this is where I agree with you in this train of thinking, is that every kid in England has the opportunity to leave school with a base level education. Every single kid has they don't in America. This in some places it's impossible.
Yeah,
but not in England. So these people that, like, America has a ridiculous amount of dropouts. Again, based on the area that they live in, poorer areas. So this is the thing in America where they say that the blacks get picked on, right, by police and stuff. Now, part of it is the fact that more blacks are committing crime, right? There's more blacks in prison than the percentage of inmates in America, large majority, over 50% are black, right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Blacks live in the poorest areas of America, right? They do. The poorest areas of America are majority black, right? You go to pick the 5 poorest states in America, the majority of that population will be black, right? Now, this is not a racial thing. This is a cultural thing. The poorer areas are uneducated, which means the uneducated haven't got the opportunities to make the money because they haven't. You go to get a job and they go, well, you're not educated. You haven't gone to school. They turn to crime. They go to prison. That is the cycle. Their kids grow up, don't get educated, go into crime, go to prison. And that is the cycle. In England, we don't have that cycle because every kid has the opportunity to get an education. So in being the way that we are, we actually give more opportunity to people than they do in America. Because in America, you haven't got the opportunity for an education.
Yeah.
Like kids do in England.
Yeah.
So in that sense, what we're doing is better. You have more of an opportunity in this country because you can't blame it on an education. You can't blame it in the town that you lived in. Yeah. Because you can get an education in any town and then move to London or move to Manchester or move to Birmingham or move to any of these places that have more money.
Yeah.
We have that opportunity. In America, not so much.
So, but that to me still doesn't answer the question, right, of like, why does that happen, right? Why is the proportions of black Americans so high in prison versus white Americans?
Because they have that mentality. Like, you watch Fox News and you have matey, whatever the fuck his name was, that got fucking fired, saying this is their fault. It's their fault that they're doing. It's their fault they're in this position because no one will take responsibility for the fact that there is no funding. They're not funding education. They're not funding healthcare. They're not funding areas in which there are no jobs. They're not starting industries. They're not funding any of this. It's do it yourself. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
You can't go from nothing to something. You can't. Like the position that you're in, someone had to give you the job.
Yeah, but I didn't just go, can I have the job, please? And they went, oh yeah, we like your face.
No.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of work that came with it.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
But you can't be in a field with no fucking clothes on, no fucking education, nothing, and then in 5 years' time be a millionaire. The likelihood of you doing that is so fucking slim. You need people along the way. You need to have an education. Like, right. You're not dumb.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
You've got an education.
Yeah.
Right?
The same one you had, weirdly.
Same one I had. Exactly. Well, that's a good fit. That's a good point.
The same one that everyone had.
We have the same opportunity.
Yeah.
In this country, we have the same opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. In America, no. Like, their percentage of dropouts is ridiculous. Yeah. That finish high school, let alone go to college.
Is that broken down into black, white, Hispanic?
The only way you can break it down, and a lot of people do, is they say that it's racial, is the fact that these areas, these poor areas...
I think cultural's better. Like, I think,
these poor areas
Rachel have... shit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that.
It's known in America, and even in this country, I'd say, it's not as bad in this country, but it still happens in this country, is that the poorer areas are your minorities.
Yeah.
And that's all over the world. The minorities come to any country. When you get immigration, the only reason people immigrate is because they have fuck all in the country that they're in.
Yeah.
So they move to a country with fuck all.
Yeah.
They huddle together and they have nothing.
Yep.
These societies are then, and these are founded, and you have these areas of predominantly black, predominantly Hispanic, predominantly, could be anything, Asian.
Yeah.
You have these areas, but because they're immigrants, they've come over with nothing. So they are the poorer areas. They're poor. But no one gives a fuck about them in America. No one cares. Like, no one gives a shit. So they're like, it's your fault. This is your fault that you're in this position.
Yeah.
Whereas, that's fine, but you can't have a go at a kid that hasn't had an opportunity to get an education for being dumb.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, but that's kind of the thing, is that you, on one hand, you say you can be anything you want.
Yeah.
Right?
But on the other, you can.
But on the other hand, it's like, well, this geezer's dad is a multi-millionaire and he can pay for the best education, whereas this geezer's dad, it earns fuck all. He's got no money and can't pay for an education. So my son can't be educated, but this geezer can have the best education ever. Do you think that's fair? Do you think they're going to achieve the same in life?
Yes or no? And the reason for that is
statistically.
Yeah, no, fucks. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Statistically, like the actual poorer kid is fucked.
Yeah,
right, which I understand completely. Right, which I understand. But now the sort of counter to that, right, is that I think that university should be for the elite. And what I mean by that is, right, I don't mean the billionaires and millionaires.
The elite,
for the fucking for like the better educated.
100%.
Because
100%.
look what we have here, right? Where it's like, here's my problem with it, right? Oh, we're all included. Oh, we'll all have a cuddle. Oh, you can go to university too. You're average. That's fine. Yeah, there's a safe space for you.
But it ain't like that.
But it fucking is, dude. Because how many
get into university?
Mate, you and I can both go to the fucking open university and we can.
I couldn't go to any college I wanted to. My GCSEs weren't good enough.
Mate,
I couldn't pick a college.
The point is, right? You could go to Braintree College and get in. There would be fucking something you could do, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you and I both know fucking people with degrees with bullshit degrees.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, you can study some dog shit fucking crap. Like media, fucking taking a piss up a wall.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
And then you've got a bunch of people with like dog shit, bullshit degrees.
Yeah.
Now going like, oh, the country's unfair. But I can't be a photographer.
Yeah. But on that hand, right? So everyone can go to university, right?
I don't know why I said photographer. I just realised that.
You know why you said photographer.
I know why I said photographer.
But on that hand, you'll say, right, okay, so everyone can go to university, right?
Which shouldn't be the case.
So no, it shouldn't be the case. But if you're saying it is the case, because I'm saying it's not. If you're saying it is the case, why are still the majority of our doctors and surgeons over here mainly from India?
But is that true though? Like,
yeah, no,
it
is.
Saying that.
Yeah, no, it's true. No, it's true because
why? Okay, but because isn't a better question? Like, isn't a better question? Why is there a shortage?
Exactly. Why is there a shortage? So the shortage being is not enough people have been educated to a level in which you want them to fucking open you up with a scalpel.
So So I think of it slightly differently, right? I understand. I think, technically speaking, right, if you take all of the, and I think a fucking touch of it has to do with immigration, dude. Like if you take every immigrant, you go
3%.
You lift and shift them up, and you go right. All the immigrants are out, right? Including the doctors and everything 3%. Else. Right? Are you saying there's not enough English doctors to look after English people?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What my point being is that if you're saying that everyone can get into university, then we have got enough doctors, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying everyone can be a doctor. Like there's certain standards that have to be met.
Well,
what I'm saying is that like you have a shit ton of fuckers with degrees that mean fuck all.
Yeah,
and like my point is, right, what are you doing when you're in university, Bob? Are you paying tax? Probably not.
So then your problem is not with society giving these people. Your problem is with the people's mentality.
My problem is, yeah, exactly. And I think I don't think that's the state's fucking problem.
No,
right?
No,
and I think
we totally agree on that.
I think mentality and culture has a shit load to do with it.
Yeah.
Whereas I kind of feel like, yeah, not everyone. I didn't go to university because I wasn't good enough to. I didn't feel I was good enough to, and I kind of thought, I'll just go into work and worked hard, landed on my feet. I'm sweet. I'm absolutely sweet, right? But then at the same time, you've got a lot of guys, and I would argue that the ones I've seen have worked hard to be where they are. Yes, they take the extra step. Yes, they take the extra mile. Standards have to keep going up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't go, well, in 1946, my auntie literally walked into a university. The following day, she was an accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is more competition. The population's going up. Shit's getting harder.
Yeah.
I'm on board with all... No, that's fine. I'm on board with all that shit. I completely fucking get it.
Yeah.
Right, but what you're having now is like this whole like, oh, everyone can go. It's all inclusive.
Yeah, but it's not. Everyone
is,
can go.
dude. Like,
it isn't. It isn't. Everyone
University fucking applications have been going up year on fucking year on fucking year.
Yeah, but if you look at like when you start school in England, you have to do an IQ test, don't you? Did you? You didn't start education here, did you?
I did. Yeah.
Did
well,
you?
I'd started year 5.
Oh right, so you
Year
might
4 or 5.
So did you have to do like the IQ test? Was it just before high school? Maybe I can't remember.
IQ? No, I never didn't.
But they do this test. I can't remember what it's called.
There's the 11 plus test for grammar schools.
But they do this test, and you were quite young, and it's not like 2 plus 2. It's like look at this object, and then this is it. Which one of this is it flat? And you have to pick, and it's basically like an IQ test. You know, like you're thinking, right? Now they're saying that tests and that are getting easier. Well, they're not. They're actually harder than they ever were. It's just that kids are now smarter because of the way society is now, the way that we can get information, the way that our brains, from a very young age, we're processing so much more information than people ever did.
Yeah.
That we are now getting smarter. Kids are smarter, whether you believe it or not, because it's hard to think, because I know some fucking idiots. But kids are smarter now than they ever were.
Yeah,
so,
good.
But tests are harder than they ever were. If you look at a test from 50 years ago to a test now, it is a lot harder, like a GCSE level, or whatever the equivalent would have been back then.
O-level, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, it's a lot harder now, right? But more people are passing it, right?
Yeah.
So that means more people are at that level. Right,
yeah.
So you can either do two things there, right? We need this elitism. Elitism is needed in society.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be the best. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So we either make the tests harder, or we sacrifice other stuff. And this is what people are saying about like the immigrants coming over. I think the problem that we have in this society, and again, if you bring it back to, if people could live comfortably on the lowest run, we wouldn't really have this problem, is that a Polish fella will come over here and he will do any fucking job going and be happy with it because he's got fuck all in his country.
Yeah.
The problem we have now is that we grow up, and you're right in saying that it's just we deserve more purely because we're alive. Purely because we're English. We deserve more, right? And I agree with you on that. But the reason the Polish man will come over and do it is because he's got less in his country than he gets here.
Yep.
Whereas the bottom run of our society is lower in the sense than that Polish man, in the sense of he's happy with what he's got, even though he's got the same as this person.
Yep. Because
he's now not the lowest run. This Polish man is not the lowest run on the ladder anymore. Because in Poland, he's above most.
Yep.
Whereas this English fella, he's the lowest run. And he's not happy with it. Because he's on the lowest run. And that's the problem that we have, if that makes sense to you. That these immigrants coming over and doing the lower jobs, I'm not talking about people coming over and being doctors and stuff.
Yep.
But doing the lower stuff, they're already 3 runs up on their ladder. They're happier with this. Because in their society, where they're from, they're 3 runs up.
Right.
Whereas this geezer in England, he's on the bottom. He's on the lowest run. Of course, he's not happy.
Right.
So he's kicking off about his job. So yeah, get these fucking Polish fellas in. Because from a business point of view, it's making them more money. They don't want to pay you more money because you're kicking off. They'll pay this Polish fella. So all that happens is the richer people get richer because they're paying people less, the immigrants less. The English people that are kicking off, and in a way kind of rightly so, because they're the bottom run,
right?
And they're, they can't afford shit.
Yep.
What's done with them?
Well, okay, so I understand that.
Then,
but like, where is an English person or a Brit or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, right?
I don't say Britain, we're English.
Like, yeah, I'm not. So I'm not English. I'll call myself British, right?
Yeah.
But where do you draw the line, right? So down the road here, right? A place called Wash Farm in Sybil, right? And I can fucking clear as fucking day, right? Remember, this old boy putting out an advert, right? We get this magazine that comes through the door in the paper, right? And I spoke to him. I went strawberry picking with my daughter, and I said to him, like, you know, how's it going? Having a chat. And he was moaning about the fact that, like, he's had a job advert for 10 guys, summer work, right? And what he said, he's been doing that farm job for fucking God knows how long, right? He says, in the 80s, right, people be queuing for a job here, picking asparagus during the summer, right? They're picking asparagus, they're happy as fuck, right? English kids doing that shit, right? The problem he has now is, like, he put that same job advert out, and he'll leave it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, hoping the local kids in the community would come and fucking do that job just in the summer.
Yeah.
Pick some shit. You might earn yourself 200 quid a month. Yeah. Not bad. Not today's standards for an 18-year-old. If someone, you give a fucking 18-year-old 200 quid a month, right? That's not fucking bad.
Nah. Yeah.
Right? And the attitude is like, I ain't fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that is a problem.
So, like, where do you swallow your pride? So, at the same time, right, like, when you have these, you say lower class jobs, bottom run jobs, right? When they're not being filled, what's supposed to happen?
Yeah, but the problem is, again, it's a lot more complex than this, but the problem is that we are in a society now where, not always, I always think that you're always better off working, but in some situations... You're not
always better off working.
Well, and this is the problem.
Yeah,
and this is the problem, right? In my opinion, and for the reasons that you stated, you're always better off working because you're always progressing if you're working.
Yeah.
But if you're on the bottom run, you've got to start somewhere, like you say, so you're always better off working.
Yep.
Whether it's financially or not, you're always better off working. The problem is that a lot of the time financially you're not better off working. We live in a society where sometimes you're not better off working. But this brings me on to the factors. What sort of society do we live in where that is the case?
Yeah.
Where the lowest run jobs, it's not as good to have that as to not have a job.
Yeah, correct. Oh, yeah, I completely agree.
So, but that's the society we're in.
But
and
that's the side effect, mate, of a very socialist idea, pal. You've got a welfare state. That's literally one of the bad things about a fucking welfare state. Like, where you kind of go, I can't fail here.
Yeah, but your capitalist state. But your capitalist state is exactly the same.
Yeah. So my thing is,
exactly the same.
Would you rather live in fucking China 50 years ago, or would you rather live in here, UK, 50 years ago?
Here, 50 years ago.
There you go. But, like, at the same time, right, like, you could walk about in China, you're fucking picking up dog shit from the pavement, and you're being paid the same as the doctor. And it's happy times. The state's taking care of shit. You're fucking getting on your train, the same train as the fucking lawyer. You're bowling about. You can wear a bowler hat. You're wearing the same bowler hat as the fucking guy on the train. He's a lawyer.
About what you're trying to say.
My point is, right, it's like from that side of things, right?
Yeah.
Right. Imagine. So let me flip the tables, right? It's like you are a lawyer, right, and you've been fucking grinding your bollocks off to be a lawyer, right? And we're in China, and the year is 1950. The war's just over. You're happy as shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's communism fucking cracking. Your fucking bins are being collected again. No more Japs kicking the shit out of you. You're happy as fuck, right?
Yeah.
And you're going off, right? And you're working 70 hours. Big court case,
yeah.
Right? Someone farted in a factory and they're getting sued. They're happy as shit, right? And you're bowling in there. You're looking for evidence, right? And you see a street sweeper and he's sweeping the road,
yeah.
Right? And at the end of the month, right, he gets £5 and you get £5.
Yeah. But that's not what happens.
But that is what happens.
But it's not.
In fucking, like, for me, right, I understand that's a very extreme version of communism, right? But for me, that is the problem with this welfare state. Like, we'll all look after each other.
Yeah.
All right? And I kind of go, well, no, fuck that. I don't fucking want it. I don't want it. I'm not saying, like, let's not look after the poor and all that shit. I'm on board with that. That's fine. But at the same time, right, you can't always be there to kind of, like, do some hand-holding.
But this is what I'm saying. That if you have 100% of both, you're fucked. You need a mixture of the two. You need to take care of people. The state need to take care of people. They need to. Because who else? Then you've got anarchy. Who else looks after what? You know what I mean? That's what they're there for. Otherwise, don't fucking have a government. What's the point?
Yeah, no, that's a different.
If everyone's looking after themselves, what's the fucking point in having a government? There's none. Don't pay anyone. Don't pay taxes. It's irrelevant. Because I'm looking after myself. It's all irrelevant. But there is a government. You need one.
Yeah, I understand.
So they have to do a certain amount of caring for people.
Yeah.
They can care too much, but there has to be a certain amount. And I'm saying, in this country, yes, we look after people too much. We do.
Yeah.
But we also need to look after people to a point where if you have a job, you have the minimum. That job allows you to pay for the minimum. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. If you want an iPad, go out and fucking work for it. If you want a Lamborghini, you fucking earn it. But if you want to turn your fucking hot water on, that's fine. We've got you covered on that because you're working. We'll cover you on that. That's fine. If you want to go out and buy a loaf of bread, we'll cover you on that. That's fine. That's subsidised. It's good. Have that loaf of bread. You're working. You're contributing. It's fine. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. You need that mixture of both. You can't have just one or the other.
I'm with you on that. I still think that, you know what, the harder you work, the higher the reward should be.
Exactly, 100%.
That is literally kind of, that's why I like the Yankee Doodle model.
But we have that in this country.
But do you?
We do. The difference is that we have more people that moan that they haven't got it. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Because I think if you want to
because the people that are not moaning have got it. And they're the ones not moaning.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I reckon even the ones who kind of have got it a bit are still moaning about something.
The more you have, the more you want.
Yeah, but I think depending on where you're from, where you've been, your fucking moans are a bit different, right? You could have a semi-wealthy, conceived to be wealthy cow farmer in Kenya going like, I'm the wealthiest man in this village because I've got 11 cows, but they can't drink. Yeah, this is bad. Right? Yeah, but I'm still wealthy because I've got 11 cows. Whereas he might have someone who goes like.
But that's why socialism works.
That fucking socialism. But that's work.
But that's that side of socialism that works. Because if you've got that wealthy cow farmer, right, who's got his 7 cows or whatever, and he's the wealthiest man in the state, right, or whatever, or the area that he lives in, but his cows can't drink because they've got no water. Yeah. Then you've got a geezer that owns a water well, and he's going, well, fuck you, I'm out for myself, mate. Fuck your cows.
Well, no, that's the beauty of capitalism. Because I'd be like, yeah, all right, I'll let you drink as much water as you want and give me 2 cows. Yeah, that's the difference between socialism and capitalism.
Yeah, no.
Now I've got some cows. Now he's got some water. Okay, yeah. Now I breed the 2 cows. Here's the thing. So here's capitalism at work, right? We're fucking doing it already.
Yeah, and then you put matey out of business.
Cows. No, not at all. Not at all, Bob. Not at all, right? So his cows and I've got water. So his cows aren't dying, right? Now I've got 2 cows.
You've
the
got
cows
2 cows
breed.
and you're breeding them cows. So now you're going in as a. So
no,
now
no,
not only have water, you have cows.
No. But here's the thing, right? His cows have got water, so they don't die. So his cows are breeding. My cows are breeding. Now there's cows for everyone.
No. Right? That's not how it works.
And we're going, and I'm breeding cows. He's breeding cows. We're sweet.
You give him water, right, and he give you 2 cows. Yeah. Eventually, he's going to run out of water, right?
Well, no. I'm just saying, you can come here and use my water, dude. Give me the 2 cows.
That's socialism. That's socialism.
That's sharing.
That's socialism.
No. Because I'm not saying give me half your cows. And the state isn't going, I'll have a cow as well because you are doing this on our land and all that.
But that's take capitalism. Out government. You take out government. That's socialism.
Socialism is government. Socialism is rule over all. It's like surrender your freedoms to us. We'll take care of you.
What? And capitalism isn't.
Capitalism is the exact opposite of that. Capitalism is like we don't need a government to be successful. We'll trade amongst ourselves. Socialism is going like, Bob, I'll let the government decide how much I earn. I'll let the government decide when my train arrives. I'll let the government decide this. I'll let the government decide that.
And the government don't decide nothing in America?
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying to you is the difference here is that here, if for example...
There is no difference.
If the demand...
difference is there is no difference.
No, there is a massive difference.
There isn't.
There is a huge difference.
The only difference is what the government make you believe is your fault. That's the only difference. In America, they make you believe it's your fault. In this country, we make ourselves believe that it's their fault. The only difference is whose fucking fault it is. Whether it's yours or whether it's theirs, everyone's fucked. There is no difference.
I think you always have winners and losers. What I don't like is this idea of you can take care of everyone, which you can't, unfortunately. You can't, no. You're always going to have winners and losers.
But like I say, there's always someone at fault. And in America, it's your own fault. Yeah. In this country, it's the government's fault. Yeah. It's irrelevant whether it's socialist or capitalist. It's irrelevant. It's all passing the blame.
No, I don't think it's passing the blame. I think I would much rather, and I think Europe would much rather be in a place where you have that cow farmer situation.
So, but you said that you didn't want Brexit. You believed in the EU.
Because I like free trade, yeah. And free movement, yeah.
But don't you think that's quite socialist?
Not necessarily. No,
That's
I don't
quite
think.
together.
Well, no, I think. Well, no, I don't think that's necessarily together. It's actually the opposite. I feel like I should be able to go where I want. I don't feel like I should be kept somewhere, which is that's socialism at play.
But you think that all EU countries should have a rule over what other countries do?
No, not at all. I think that like
But that's essentially what the EU is.
I think I understand that bit. I think the reason I kind of voted to stay is for the reasons of free trade and free movement from my side.
So what you're saying is that there should be a mixture.
I'm not saying there should
be.
I'm not saying there should be a mixture because like
there has to be a mixture.
No, I disagree. I think like European, if you take for example like the latest, what
you can't have one without the other.
No, you can.
You can't have free trade and travel without having a governing body of it.
Well, mate, like I reckon that a huge majority of immigrants are non-EU, so you already have control over that. You already have control over that. The
immigrant issue for me is blown out of proportion anyway. 3% of this country, 3% of the population is immigrants.
Yeah. So bear in mind,
97% were born here.
Yeah,
so
but bear in mind as well, like
immigration's irrelevant.
The sort of European Union citizens who come here are entering based on that. So, for example, like you can't travel according to the Schengen Treaty. Never could. Right, so if you're a Nigerian or a fucking like a Russian or an American or a Canadian and you come here on a Schengen visa, that doesn't grant you access into the UK. Never does, never will, never has done.
Yeah.
But you can go from France to Italy, from Italy to Germany, from Germany to Portugal, into fucking Switzerland, into Sweden, into wherever the fuck you need to go.
Switzerland's not in it.
Whatever. you can still you still need a Schengen visa. They're part of the Schengen zone.
Oh, right.
So there's the Schengen zone.
Yeah.
Right. So like you can go wherever you want in Europe. That Schengen visa doesn't cover you to come here.
Yeah.
You need to apply for a visa if you're outside of the EU to come in here, which is tens of hundreds of thousands of people a year.
Yeah.
So you had control over that anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, like immigration to me is irrelevant.
Pakistan, India, Indonesia, New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, America, Canada.
Yeah.
You name these places, all of Africa. Like they're being let in because they're passing the visa application.
Yeah, immigration to me is relevant because, like I say, it's like 3% of our 3 or 4% of our population are immigrants, so it's irrelevant. It's like 90.
That's why I didn't buy the whole leave because of immigration.
Yeah, right? That's not what I did it for. Yeah. The reason I did it for is, and you may think that this is mental, but the reason that I did it is that there has to be governing of some description. There has to be.
Agreed, yeah.
Because otherwise there is anarchy. And you'll have fucking kids dying in the street because matey next door has fucking swallowed all the profit out of fucking everything because he's a greedy bastard. And that's what capitalism is. Capitalism is take everything for yourself, fuck everyone else. It's your problem. You make the money. You do everything that you can to make yourself as good as you can.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
But then what happens is that eventually you're the only one fucking left. And what good is that?
Yeah, and I think that's in the very minority of cases. Imagine, what I'm saying is, right, for me, I would love to see, and this experiment's never happened, right, it's never happened, is imagine a world whereby not everyone's necessarily content, there's huge amounts of competition, the standards are going up, healthcare is going up, medicine is going up, like development of science and everything is going up because everyone wants to be the best. Everyone wants to strive for the fucking best. They know where they've got to start. Yeah, we've got to start on the bottom run.
Yeah.
All right? They know they've got to start somewhere, and they all got to strive.
Yeah.
Everyone has to strive. In order to make it, you have to strive. You have to push yourself. Yeah. At the same time, pay your way, pay your taxes, all that shit, on board with absolutely everything.
Yeah.
What I detest about the socialist model, and why I am on the cusp of maybe not voting for someone like Labour, is to kind of go, yeah, do all of that, but when you get there, we're going to fuck you up with some nasty taxes. And by the way, if you're on the bottom run, that's okay too. I kind of go, yeah, what kind of standard is that to set? Why strive then? Why am I striving? Why are me and you doing this?
Because you're always
Why are you working?
Because you're always better off. You don't work for nothing that you don't want.
What I'm saying is, right, if me and you quit tomorrow, we know that chances are we can get some money. We could probably get some housing benefits.
Yeah, but what sort of life is it? You're not having a great quality of life.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? We can still live.
Yeah, but that's how it should be, shouldn't it?
No,
well, you're not going to die.
But like, what I'm saying is, right, like, are you comfortable? So let's pretend, right, like it costs 50 quid or 100 quid a month.
Yeah.
Right? And instead of your taxes going to the Treasury say to you, so Bob, this week, right, you're paying for Heinrich and Danielle's food. They're not working. They're not doing fuck all. You're also paying for their Sky. And whilst we're at it, you're paying for their bins, their housing, and their electricity. You okay with that? We'll have some money now, Bob. Heinrich's off to the shops to buy some fags.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Are you still okay with this fucking socialist idea?
But that's not the socialist idea.
Or do you go, fuck Heinrich, you should probably work.
But that's not the socialist idea.
That is.
No, it's
this
not.
is an inclusive state.
But this is the thing.
This is the welfare state.
No, but this is the whole thing about looking at capitalism and looking at socialism as just two independent things, which they're not. They're impossible to be. Because if you look at capitalism, right, it's like, well, you go back to Matey with the cows, right? So he's got water, right?
Yeah.
He's got a resource that everyone wants, right? So he's like, right, you've got to give me 2 cows, right?
Yeah.
You can have some of this water, right? Yeah. Not forever. You can have some of this water, right? I'll sell you this water for however long, a year.
Yeah. You come back here once a month, you have some water. That's exactly the deal I'd make
right?
with it.
Yeah. Okay, and you get 2 cows, and you think, I'm going to fucking breed these cows, right? Eventually, you're then breeding the cows, right? So he's selling his meat, he's selling his cow meat, right?
Selling milk, probably.
And milk, whatever, right? And he runs out of water. But by this time, you've got as many cows as him because you've been breeding your cows.
Yep.
Eventually, you go, fuck off, mate, I don't need you. This is capitalism, I don't need you. I've got my own cows. I'll sell it. What then happens to him? Well,
I think he should diversify. What I'm saying to is, right?
That's
No.
That's no model.
No,
that's no model on society.
The model I would have, right? Here's my thinking. Here's where we differentiate in the model, right? That guy comes to me, right? He says, I need some water. I don't have tender. You kind of go, well, okay, I had to dig the well. My son had to dig the well. And we have water, and it's enough for us, all right? But what we really want is to make sure that, we've got a continuing flow of water, all right? So we're all good here, right? We're all good. You've got some water, I've got some water. But, that comes at a price. Now, maybe I want some milk, right? So I'll say to him, all right, you give me 2 cows, and I've got some 2 cows, right? I'll say to him, like, you can come back here and have as much water as you need for once a month or whatever the case may be, whenever you come over, right? Yeah. So now he's coming back, and he's coming back, and he's coming. Now I've got 2 cows. Maybe I breed the 2 cows.
Yeah.
I've got 3 cows, 4 cows, 8 cows, 10 cows, right, over the space of time. Now, it would be idiotic of me to kind of then go, well, I'm fucking off now, because he could just, now he's not, there's water there for everyone all of a sudden, right? Instead of like having that where I'll make sure I've got enough meat, whatever the case may be with my cows, I'll just keep the cows going. This guy's, he's a nomad, he's travelling about. That's his shit, that's his choice. Ain't my choice. But why can't we both profit from it? So next time he comes around, he's breeding his cows. He's already got 30, 40 cows.
The reason that you can't profit, and the reason that either way works, because if I switch it and I go, well, socialism, doesn't this sound great? That we're all working, right? Yeah. So everyone works. Yeah. One geezer's a lawyer, one's a surgeon, some people work in fucking whatever, but some are binmen and, street cleaners and stuff, right? But we're all working, but because you don't earn what we earn, right, we'll subsidise. Yeah. We'll all put into a pot, we'll put into one big pot a percentage of our wages, right, and we can all live off this pot, and we can have healthcare, and we can have all of this. Doesn't this sound great? And it does. You can't argue with the fact that does sound great, everyone helping each other. The fact is, and the reason that neither of them work, is because that's not how society is. No one ever thinks like that. You'll have people that are scroungers, and in the sense of capitalism, you'll have people that are greedy motherfuckers. That is the way people are, and that's why neither of them can work. None of them can work, because on paper, in theory, it all sounds great. Oh, this is going to be great. Yeah. Socialism works. We'll all put into a pot. We'll all do our bit, but it's all right if you can't put in as much. That's fine. We'll cover you. Like, it's all great. We're all in it together. Yeah, sounds brilliant. Capitalism, it's like, we're all going to profit. I do this, you do that. We all take our market. We all have our share. We don't have to worry about government or any of this. We all do it for ourselves, and we're all in it together, like socialism. We're all in it together, but we all have our bit, and we all striving to make our company the best. It doesn't work like that. Neither of them work like that. They're both flawed because of the way people are. And because of the way people are, you need someone to govern them. That's where the government comes in. The government have to be a mixture of both.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Neither of them work.
Yeah, I think we're going to overrun, because we're already on 1 hour 44. But I think that it's been a good chat. I think ultimately we're going to agree to disagree. I don't know who I'm voting for yet. We might end up on the same fence, but
you've got to vote Labour purely. No. Purely for the reason that if fucking Conservatives get in and they get rid of the NHS, we are gonna fucking miss it. It will be the worst fucking decision ever fucking made.
Food for thought. I've not made up my mind. Many people haven't. I don't know.
Like, just on the fact, again, like you said earlier, we take things for granted. You take away that NHS, you'll see what it'll be like in 5 years' time.
Yeah, maybe so. Bob, good chat.
Good stuff.
Powerful chat.